Galnet News Digest, 9th of January 3311. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, as we enter a new year, Shadow President Archer is in a bit of a pickle. Anti-Xeno pilots are taking the fight to the Thargoids. And pilots report that things seem to be a lot slower than they used to. The power vacuum resulting from the Thargoid attack on Sol in December has led to some interesting times for Federal Shadow President Jerome Archer. With the federal government retreating to Eta Cassiopeia, there was no one left to look after the Republican Party leader Jerome Archer's power base. After the Thargoids left, Imperial forces, who'd been assisting the Federation in eliminating the Thargoids, proved surprisingly popular in these core federal systems. Princess Ashing Duval, who remains the Imperial liaison to Anti-Xeno Agency Aegis, proved particularly popular in Sol, where she established a small presence. Archer has this week managed to stamp out that Imperial presence at the federal seat of government, but the neighbouring system, Barnard Star, continues to have sizable popular support for the Prismatic Princess, at least for now. Archer is rumoured to be using the banned Proactive Detection Bureau, as well as power agents, to quell the wave of pro-imperial sentiment. It seems unlikely that even such a popular leader as Duval can outlast the anti-free speech techniques employed by Archer. The systems around Sol have never looked so diverse. Yuri Grom and Li Yongri have long held systems adjacent to Sol, such as Sirius and Epsilon Indi. But Imperial slaver and mining mogul Senator Zamina Torval has an increasing presence in systems close to Sol, systems such as Tulfa, Lumen 16 and Trepin. President Winter's heartlands in the Federal Territories have barely been touched by the fallout from the Thargoid War. Archer will have to work hard to re-establish his territories and to salvage his reputation.
An estimated 1,000 Anti-Xeno pilots are taking the fight to the Thargoids on Sunday. Following the successful defeat of the Thargoid invasion of the human-occupied bubble in December, there remains just one known system where the hostile sort of Thargoid can be found. This is HIP 22460, the system where Salvation and Azimuth built the Anti-Xeno superweapon that started the war, and where Salvation was killed by the Thargoid backlash against the weapon. It's a hostile environment, swarming with Thargoids, and with an anti-Guardian field that makes most Guardian technology useless. There are the wrecks of Federal, Imperial and Alliance megaships, as well as Azimuth's 2 megaships, the Bright Sentinel and the Golden Prospect, and the Black Flight megaship, the Overlook, as well as countless debris fields from smaller ships that were destroyed on that fateful day in August 3308. On the ground, there are a number of barnacle sites and barnacle forests, and the Project Seraph operations base Fort Ash. There were 2 Thargoid imprint sites on Moon 10B. These are believed to be crashed Thargoid motherships. The similarity with the underside of Thargoid Titans is striking. One of these sites was used by Salvation to magnify the effect of the Proteus wave, and by the Thargoids to magnify the effect of their shutdown field, and the massive residual pulse can still be seen clearly from orbit. Sadly, Moons 10A and 10B are now both permit-locked for safety, so it is no longer possible to visit these ancient and probably highly dangerous structures. It is near these moons, and the wrecked megaships that still orbit them, that the Anti-Xeno Initiative and the Xeno Strike Force plan their attempt to wipe out the Thargoids by sheer force of numbers. Around 1,000 pilots have already signed up, and more are expected to turn up on the day, Sunday the 12th of January. Because of the very large number of pilots taking part, potentially one of the largest Anti-Xeno combat zones ever seen, it is essential to register in advance and to set up your ship appropriately. The materials for anti-Guardian Zone resistance are no longer available, but if you don't have suitably modified Guardian weapons, enhanced AX multi-cannon and enhanced AX missile racks will serve admirably. Recommended Crate Mark II builds and general but important advice for those taking part is available from Commander Mechan. It may be an impossible task to blockade the system, but it will give many commanders satisfaction just to take part. This may be the first very small step on a path that leads us to the Thargoid homeworld, if such a thing exists. Remember to sign up if you'd like to take part and have your ship on a nearby carrier. The event will start at 1930 Galactic Time.
Over the past few weeks, commanders have been reporting a number of disturbing signs that all is not well in the galaxy. Hyperspace jump times, previously less than 20 seconds, are now commonly taking 60 seconds or more to complete. Limpets quite happily collect goods and materials, but when they arrive back at the ship they seem to lose their sense of purpose, and can sometimes take a couple of minutes to deposit what they've collected into the cargo scoop. For those on foot, getting stuck in a data terminal, or finding that you have to restart a mission you were already halfway through when you briefly lose consciousness and wake up back in your ship, it's a constant hazard. For those who just need one more black box to complete their weekly assignment, and who have a limpet holding that one black box a defiant couple of meters away from your ship as the opposing power's agents close in to attack, is frustrating and sometimes fatal. Imagine, though, how the randomly extended jump times will affect any future buckyball races, or, far worse, how difficult it makes the fuel rats work, with dramatically extended journey times. When they eventually arrive at their client, who may have only seconds of oxygen left, long jump times can be the difference between life or death. For those travelling from the bubble to Colonia, travel time is doubled. Meanwhile, minor factions remain unable to expand into new systems following the dramatic boosting of faction status from power play activities. If expansions were allowed to take place, there would be chaos. And for those indulging in merit gathering for power play, there are still activities such as delivering rare goods and rescuing escape pods that earn no merits. There are still weekly missions that are impossible to complete, such as being tasked to hack holographic adverts that don't exist, or being asked to sell organic data in a system that has no vistagenomic outlets. Let's hope that the Pilots Federation can take some time out from their plans to deregulate colonization to work out why so many things in the galaxy seem so unusually slow. And that's our very first Galnet News Digest of 3311. Galnet News, we read the news, so you don't have to.